Oh, so it's time to get up. It's morning. Today's the day that I go to Chicago to I'm going to Chicago, the O'Hare Airport, because my friend and I are going to be going to New York, and we're going to be there for a couple nights, and it's going to be a fun time. So yeah, I'm excited. Stretch! God! Ah! Here we are in Chicago, Illinois. Some nice real estate right there. I'm not sure how safe this neighborhood is, but it'll be alright. Here we are, 58th floor here. Gonna be walking into the room here. Oh, there we go. Now check out this little view we got going here. Pretty high up. Look at this. Look at that stuff here. Got Times Square out in the distance there. Nice little city going on. Bunch of hustlers and street performers, and look at that skyline. Now, that's gonna look pretty cool at nighttime. So we're walking in Times Square right now, and Nick and I just realized something is there's all these people here, but I haven't seen one person smile in the last like 5 minutes. And like, you know, cheer up, you know, that you're in New York City, you know. It's kind of ridiculous, but yeah, you gotta live your life, man. Be happy. Another thing in New York City is you know, people don't have as many manners as you would think. If you're not from New York, you may be from a smaller area. Man, I walk into people and I say excuse me all the time. I haven't heard anybody else say excuse me once. Nobody. I mean, and I was just walking across, and somebody was walking across the street, and a car honked at them and just kept driving. Probably didn't even hit the brake. Probably still had his foot on the gas and didn't even care. He would have hit the guy if the guy didn't stop walking. Now in my city, where I'm from, you would stop and you would let them go on. So it's just a different lifestyle here. Another thing about this place is it's very loud. It can get very loud here. New York City is a very loud city. Just eating at Olive Garden here. Some nice advertisements right there. The NFL experience. Times Square, folks. Olive Garden in Times Square. You might be thinking, why are we at Olive Garden when you can just go to Olive Garden in Racine? Well, look at this view. Look at this view right here. And you can't get enough soup and salad, you know? Oh yeah. Alright, this is my kind of city right here. Look at this stuff. Club. Flight Club is a very iconic shoe store. Looking for some new shoes to drum with here. Look at that. A lot of expensive stuff. But been getting into shoes a lot more lately, actually. All those advertisements right there, I mean, how much do you think people are spending to advertise on these buildings? I mean, the money that goes into this is ridiculous. Alright, I almost just got pickpocketed. There's a guy in a costume that came up to me and he shook my hand and he asked where I'm from. And then I said Wisconsin, and then like 6 other guys in costumes, like an Elmo suit and Iron Man and a Batman, all came around me and tried to like hug me, and I kind of just left. So always make sure when you're in New York to keep your hands in your pockets where your wallet is. So, all right, it is day 2 in New York City here, Manhattan, New York. I just woke up. Got about 6 hours of sleep. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. Can go get some breakfast now, and gonna be a long day, but it should be a good long day. So I'm excited. We'll probably go to the World Trade Center today, and then Empire State Building and stuff like that. So I'm excited. Check out this little hopscotch here. Very high up here. The top of the One World Trade Center. All those buildings. That's the Empire State Building. All these buildings look quite low, and they're actually pretty tall, but to us up here, they're pretty low. It's a long way down. This camera doesn't really do it justice, you know. But what a beauty. Pretty good looking city. This is Ground Zero. It's a beautiful piece of art, actually, but what an unfortunate thing. The reason that they had to make something like this, but just want to say thanks to the servicemen who have fought for our country, and to the firefighters and police officers and all the people that were in this building here that was in this spot. Thank you. I'm very sorry to the families. Now it's nighttime. Got a lot to do. I'm actually by myself right now. My friend Nick is out eating with an employee of his business, actually. So right now, looks like it's all just me. So just me and you, and we can go see some cool stuff. Alright, I'm actually done now. Alright, stop yelling. I'm done. I'm gonna stop messing with you now. Okay. So, I was just in Times Square for the last, like, 5 hours by myself while my guy Nick was having dinner with his employee, his new employee. But, yeah, I was by myself having a good time. I actually got some shoes. I got some cool shoes. I went into some cool fashion stores. I
saw some street performers, and ate some pizza, actually, some really good pizza at Little Italy Pizza. That's what it was called. So, but the funny part of this whole experience for the last 5 hours, while my eyes looking kind of red, is I got lost. I got completely lost, and my phone died. All right. Well, I guess I wasn't necessarily lost, but my phone died, and I was trying to get back, you know, with Nick after he was done with his dinner. But my phone died, so I couldn't get a hold of him, and I didn't know what to do. I thought maybe I'll go to the hotel. Should I stay here? Because I told them over text that I'm in Times Square right now. My phone might die soon. I actually told them that because I saw it coming. Even though my phone was at 60% and went down to 10% just like that. But anyway, so I told him that I'll be in Times Square. My phone might die. But I wasn't sure if he got that message, you know. But so I stayed in Times Square for a while and didn't know what to do. I was kind of just chilling. And then I decided, I kept hitting the power button on my phone, and it would play with me a little bit. It would turn on the Apple sign, you know, when it looks like your phone's going to turn on, and then it would go black. And this happened. I did this about 10 times. And then after the 10th time, I was like, all right, I don't know what to do. So I went into some stores. I went into H&M, right in Times Square. I said, hey, guys, I asked a security guard, I said, hey, you guys got any phone I could use? I'm really sorry. I feel stupid, but I don't know what to do. My phone's dead. Can I use your phone? And they didn't help me. They didn't do anything. You know, the security guard was cool, actually. The security guard tried to help me. He told me, maybe you can ask this employee here. He was actually making an effort to help me out. But the employees there were like, you know, I got nothing for you. And you know, it's understandable. It's understandable. I wouldn't expect them to, but yeah, they couldn't help me. And by the way, H&M, great store. I highly recommend it. And then across the street, I decided to go to Walgreens because the nice security guard said, you know, they got some charges at Walgreens, and maybe they got a phone there you could use. You know, you never know. So I walked over across the street to Walgreens, asked the security guard there if I could use a phone, and if it was possible for me to use a phone, and he said no. I said, all right, you got any chargers here? And he said, yeah, we got some chargers on the 3rd floor. So I went up to the 3rd floor. I keep turning on my phone, trying to turn on my phone. It's not turning on. Finally, I find a charger, but the charger doesn't have a block thing, you know, to plug into the wall. None of the chargers had that there. And I didn't have like a computer to plug the charger into, so I didn't know what to do. So I kept hitting the power button on my phone, and probably another 3 tries or so, and all of a sudden the Apple sign turns on, and it actually turns all the way on, and it's got like 14% battery. So why the heck was it off in the first place? I mean, I wasn't thinking about that at the time, but because I was just so excited in the middle of a Walgreens, so excited that I got my phone to turn on, because that was my only hope really at the time, because nobody was letting me use their phone, and really what was I gonna do? I was in the middle of Times Square, biggest city. I mean, and mind you, I know nothing about New York City. I know nothing about New York City. So. And finally, so my phone turned on, and I called Nick, and he was like, dude, where are you? Thought you were kidnapped or something. And I was like, dude, yeah, I don't know what to, yeah, my phone died. So there's a couple lessons learned from that. So if you're ever going to travel to a big city like New York, make sure that you should probably do some research on the city where you're going, maybe the specific area, in the streets and the stuff like that before you leave to go there. Maybe it'll make it easier for you to get places without, you know, because I got lost a number of times, and I had to turn on my GPS, but my phone was acting up and then eventually died. So then I got, you know, I didn't know what to do. So, and number 2, no matter how charged your phone is, if you're going to leave your hotel, bring a charger with you. All right, bring a charger with you, and find an outlet and charge it if it ever gets too low, because you're going to be screwed, like I was. But luckily, I don't know how, I have no idea how, but I turned the power button on one more time, and then it turned on. But yeah, so it was an interesting experience. Nobody was letting me use their phone, and it's kind of expected, you know. I don't know how I would feel if somebody, random person in the middle of Times Square, New York City, Manhattan, comes up to me. Like, I don't know what I would do if they came up to me and said, "Hey man, can I use your phone?"
You would not.
I probably wouldn't. I probably would lie. I probably would say I don't have it on me, and that's what most of the people said.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what most of the people
Such
said.
a load of bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got a phone. All right, you're in New York City. You got a H&M bag with you with a $100 shirt. You tell me you don't have a phone on you? Yeah, good one. So anyway, it's all right. I understand. You know, I would have done the same thing probably. But yeah, make sure that you know where you're going, and always keep a charger on you. All right, plan things. Planning. That's a very big thing you got to do. So last night, about 2 a.m., my guy Nick is on Instagram, and there's this guy doing he's in New York right now, and he's going to Chicago in a private jet. And he said in an Instagram post, whoever comments on here first will be able to come with me to Chicago. So Nick commented on there, and he was the only one to comment. So he was the first one and the last one, and got it. So that means a couple things. It means he's flying private, and it means I don't have to be with him on the flight home. So that's two really cool things. So yeah, really excited for him.